I started jiu-jitsu because I actually used to get picked on. I used to get picked on for wearing. I'm blind as shit. I have thick frames. I still wear glasses. One of my friends, Allison Crawford, she's seen me in my glasses before because we've traveled like Mike John and like some of the other guys here and my other friends. We travel with each other, so she's seen me in my glasses, and she's like, "Bro, I am sorry. I know you. I've seen you before, but your frames are so thick." Like,
so hold on. Just comparison shop. Thicker than this.
Yes, way thicker. Thicker. Mine is like, if it's like this, like it's coming out of the frame. Oh, no. I'm 9 in both my eyes.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you with another great installment of the Grappling Hour. I hope you're excited. We have a debut of a friend that has never been interviewed before, but we'll get back to him in a second. But back to me. Hey, if you like me and the show, which I hope that you do, it would be great if you could support us by going over to patreon.com/grappling hour. And if you go there and become a member for just $5 a month, you can see my interviews 30 days before anybody else. So a lot of you might be seeing this for free. If such, you're kind of cheap. Now, I don't mean that you're a bad person. It's just, why wouldn't you want to support your boy, Rafa Esparza? Because I go out of my way to go to different gyms, to bring on new people who you maybe never have heard do an interview before. So $5 a month, you see those interviews, and for a few extra dollars more, you can see extra bonus content not available anywhere else, including a segment called Roast Raf, where people roast my competition footage. You can see the Grappling Hour Challenge, where people try to get submissions on me in a certain allotment of time. You can see extra episodes of the show, and lots more. We do a segment called Tape Study, where we break down people's matches with the athletes themselves. So those are some of my favorite things to do. So check that out. Additionally, if you are watching this right now, by the end of this interview, I would love it if you could rate and review and subscribe to this show. So if you're watching it on, let's say, YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. And if you don't know what you want to comment on, by the end of this video, we will give you a prompt. So hang out there. And if you're watching on Apple or on Spotify, wherever it is you get your podcasts, it would be super dope if you could rate and review, because you guys have enough time to talk about a theoretical fight with a gorilla. You could spend that time you're in a comment section for sure arguing with somebody over the validity of that to leave your boy a 5-star review. And yes, if you do go, I do expect 5 stars, because you're about to see a 5-star interview. A couple other reminders. Check this out. This is a nice little shirt from our friends over at Gold BJJ. But if you want to get a t-shirt that says Grappling Hour or a hoodie, go to rafesparza.com/merch. It supports the show. All the money goes into buying equipment like this and this and this, and it makes sure that we do fun and dope stuff. And last but not least, if you want to join our Discord, go to Discord with Grappling Hour and continue the conversations that we have here on the show. All right, let's get to our guest. So this kid over here, he went viral for an insane jiu-jitsu clip that happened at EBI recently. More importantly, the voice, the timbre of one Brandon McCatherine went so high because I think he knew how viral this clip was going to go. Last I checked, in the millions on the views, but he's also performed for us over at Subversive. And if you know, you know, I can't say things, but like, you might be seeing your guy here in the future on some other really cool stuff. So I don't know what we can or cannot discuss, because by the time this comes out, it probably is out. But in the meantime, why don't you welcome for the very first time, Dominic Lobo. Dom, how are you doing, sir?
Good.
Good to see you, sir. I appreciate you with the hospitality. It's been a minute since I have been back here at beautiful 10th Planet Orange County. How was teaching today? What did you do today, sir?
Well, I teach a kids class usually today. It's a Saturday. Today we actually went over rubber guard, and a lot of my kids, even though I know certain tournaments for kids, they don't let you do rubber guard, but I want to start them early, so when they're older, they already can be out the gate with rubber guard, and a lot of them love it. Like a lot of my little kids, my older kids like it a lot, but there's like a lot of my little kids that love it, and they're like, "Oh, when can we do rubber guard? When are we gonna do rubber guard?"
Okay, can we have a moment about this? I don't particularly like that you're teaching them rubber guard because all you're doing is building the next mini assassins to kill us, the olds. Because you know what was great? I got to commentate your match with you and Cody at Subversive, and it looked like you were giving us a preview of that go-go clinch because you got that rubber guard, you're making the adjustments, and Cody's a big dude, but you were able to get it, and he was eating that move right then and there.
Yeah.
So it was like seeing a little bit of a, if he's got this on him, the next time I see this, he's for sure getting it. And lo and behold, the next time was you at EBI, and you got it. So let's start with that. What did it feel like to not only get that move, but to have so many people show it so much love?
Honestly, it felt great because that is my first. I've never done combat jiu-jitsu before that. That was my introduction to combat jiu-jitsu, was that. And of course, going in, I was nervous since I've been a grappler my entire life. Never strikes. Like I've used to do a little bit of boxing, but that was like for 2 months. Like I never really got hit. So it was like, I'm like, this is like the first time I got hit. Like, but I'm like, my game because Eddie tells me that my game is pretty much the perfect recipe for combat jiu-jitsu, since I like a lot of clinching, and I play a lot. Even though I'm in my guard, I'm not really like, I don't have a lot of space. I usually am bringing them in. I'm always sweeping. So he's like, oh yeah, you're perfect for combat jiu-jitsu, man. Like you should try it. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, never not to try it, you know?
Okay,
you can never...
But let's stop here, because did you ever want to do it? Did you ever think in your head, like, I will do combat jiu-jitsu? Because to me, I'm not sure that was even on your radar.
At first, no. But then, you should never be like, I don't like, it's like, for example, trying out like a new food. You should never be like, oh, I don't like it because I never had it before. You should at least try it and then be like, you know what, I like it. Or, I don't like it.
Not for me.
Yeah, it's not for me. So it's like when I tried that, it's like I can't say I hate combat jiu-jitsu, but I never tried it. So yeah, I'll try it, and I like it. Now. It's pretty cool. It's fun.
I think you had the best kind of version for a first time, because I remember even when Keith, when he was going to do it for the first time, and I remembered thinking like, that's so wild. Like it never occurred to me that I would see a Keith Krikorian do a combat jiu-jitsu.
No, yeah.
Lo and behold, then become a champion in that format. So I think that it is always full with surprises, but did that change any of the way that you were starting to prep for it? Because if you knew rubber guard was where you wanted to go, I'm pretty sure that was part of the game plan or the thought, like that's where you kind of want to get the match to.
Yeah, just when I was practicing for it, I did, because I'll get into more later about the whole rubber guard series, but Mike John competes a lot in combat jiu-jitsu. Like he's more used to it. So I was mostly here, so he can help me get ready for it. So like I always like get one of the dummies in the corner over there. I'll be like hitting it for like a minute straight, just practicing like palm strikes. And then I would have people like fake palm strike me, like if I played guard. So I tried my best to not play guard, to not like just sit down on my butt, because I know then that's the recipe for getting knocked out. Yeah. So I was trying to at least wrestle a little bit more. Like even if I go to my guard, even though that's like one of my favorite places to go is my guard. For this format to have that be like the last place I want to go to, like to have it in my mind. And even if they fall in my guard, it's like it's game over. Like if you saw an EBI, like it's game over. But still, I don't want to like be like like them staying out and walking around my guard and me playing open guard, and then because they're gonna just be palm striking you, and messing you up. So that's why I tried going in, you know, at least trying to get either the back or mount. But then we did the 1 minute where no one was taking down nobody. He like my opponent was just like kind of like backing away almost the whole time. So since I was engaging more, I went down. So I have the butterfly hooks, and then that's when I was in my zone.
Okay, so you get to where you want to go, and then you get that go clinch, you know, and that's such a rare move. So before I even ask how that developed in that match, when did you know you were capable of that? Because again, we saw it in a very, very prominent way at Subversive, and I thought, man, that's pretty impressive just for our show. EBI, also a very awesome show, has a lot of storied history, but the combat element definitely makes it a little bit more important to maintain that position, because let's say somebody doesn't like being in it. Your neck, your arm's a little compromised, but somebody might be trying to hit you and slap their way out of it if they can, but it's difficult. So for you, when did you know you had the capability for those types of moves?
Well, that's a long time ago, because when we get more into my background, right? When I first went to 10th Planet, when I found 10th Planet, I used to go to 10th Planet Buena Park, then I turned into Fullerton, and then I went to Reston High School. And when I came back, I kind of shifted more to Orange. It's actually down the street from my high school. Like, I'm not kidding. It's down the street from my high school. So I kind of came here more often. And then when I met Cho, so I have very flexible legs. And then he introduced me into rubber guard. And then I'm like, wow, I kind of, you know, this is like, it was made for me. And I love like triangles and stuff. So like, it just feels natural.
Yeah.
And then that, like, when I started going to HQ, because I cross-trained from HQ in here.
Yeah.
When I went to HQ more, then I get more of Eddie Bravo, like, pouring in, like, the details with me, like, helping me. Because even though, like, when I was here with John Cho, and he showed me at least the introduction, the introduction to it, I didn't really know a lot of, like, the sweeps or, like, a lot of the submissions from there. Like, I knew, like, there's, like, the bars, like, the, where you put, like, Kimura, you pull the arm down. And that was really it. Or like you can switch to a triangle from there, but the initial like setup is I got that from Cho. Nice. And then Eddie Bravo, when I started going to HQ, that's one of the warm-ups to HQ is rubber guard death bed flow, and they have you do like in the morning. We do that every morning when he's there, but at night sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't, but that's still a part of the warm-ups where it's like you get into rubber guard, you boom, you throw over the go plata, you go forward or back, and that's a whole system. Yeah. So me being there and me getting more of the reps, I understand it a lot. I picked it up pretty quickly since my legs are flexible, and when you saw it when I was doing the Cody, I already knew I had it, but at the same time, when I had it, I was being kind of stubborn. Not gonna lie, because I could have switched. Looking back, I could have switched it to like a triangle, because he kind of like had his head up for a bit, but then went back down. Yeah. But I was being very stubborn. I'm like, no, I want to finish with the. I had my foot was under his neck. I didn't want to let go, so I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold on here. I'm gonna try to sweep him, but rather than I should have like I said, moved to something else.
Kind of,
but
how do I put this? I felt that when I was commentating, but we don't say it that way. Like, I don't, because I feel like you might be sounding like you're underselling your jiu-jitsu if it's like, well, he's just being stubborn and not transitioning. But I I think I was phrasing it as, I think he really wants this.
No, like, that's right. I really was.
And I just saw it in you, and I go, because I thought you have the capability to transfer to something else. And for so many other people, they would, and it wouldn't necessarily be right or wrong. It's a choice.
Yeah.
And maybe it would work for them, maybe not. In your case, I just thought he's close to making a statement. So imagine my surprise, because I was busy that EBI day.
Yeah.
What was I doing? I was doing commentary for Spar Star, so I couldn't watch it live. And I had people sending this to me. And I said, oh, shit, he finished it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. We had the start. They have the finish. So I immediately had this thing where I was so happy that you got to show and got your stubbornness paid off for at EBI.
Yeah.
Because most people might take that back and be like, well, it didn't work on the big show. Back to the drawing board. I'll try something else for rubber guard. You just said, no, now I get to hit somebody too. And if I get to hit somebody and I've got this, I feel good about my chances. And you made that work. So credit to you for making those adjustments, because I don't know that somebody would have done that again. And then, now we'll get to the actual match. How did it come together? Like, how did you get on this card? Because obviously, Eddie likes to put people in these super fights that he has eyes on. And so it's usually his way of saying, maybe you guys should pay attention to this person. And he's been talking you up, and he's been calling you the future of rubber guard. So one, how'd you get on it? And two, how does it feel to be labeled that way?
It feels, honestly, like I could never, like in a million years, I never thought I would be here. Like, at least being, like, getting taught by Eddie Bravo and him pouring so much, like his time into me and calling me that, like, the future of rubber guard. Mm-hmm. Like it's really cool. Mm-hmm. You know? When I first did, like, how Eddie first, like, met me, mm-hmm. He met me at he technically met me at this, like, tournament. I forget what it was. It was, like, at a fitness expo.
Okay.
I remember, like, it was right after wrestling. Like, mm-hmm. right after, like, I was fresh off of wrestling. So, and it was my first tournament back. So I was, like, really rusty. And Eddie was there. I'm like, oh, no. And my dad's like, oh, dude. And he goes, I'm at Eddie. And he's like, dude, he's going to be, like, he's going to be, like, the future jiu-jitsu. And I swear, right away, I got choked out with a buggy choke, but that's because I had no idea what it was. Now I know, and like people try doing it, and I'm like, man, get away from me. But like, that was my first impression to him, and I was like, dude, remember? And he laughs at it. But because he forgot about that like a while ago, and then I did a qualifier. I did a qualifier mm-hmm. for I forgot the tournament again, but it was not Kama Jiu-Jitsu. It was like for a specific tournament outside of the US, I think. If I remember correctly.
Is it the AIGA ones?
No,
not that one.
It was not AIGA.
But it was another one similar to that style.
It was kind of similar to that style.
Okay.
And I went to the semifinals in the qualifier, and I lost in OT. Like, I lost in OT. And I lost to the guy that won the entire qualifier and went. Yeah, but Eddie was very impressed with me, and he's like, dude, you should come. You should come Tuesday, Thursday mornings. You know, because I was telling him I'm in school right now, and he's like, yeah, you come Tuesday, Thursday mornings. And I started going there, and then that's when he started pouring in all the stuff into rubber guard and stuff. And then like, actually, like, that same week, I did a team duel. I did a team duel.
Okay.
I was a purple belt, and I lost for like a straight ankle. I remember correctly. It was like against like a really, really big jacked guy that looked like he towered me. Like, he looked like a titan towards me. Like, and Eddie thought that guy was gonna beat me. He even told me like he thought he was gonna beat me, but after, like, I had him in trouble like the entire time. I had him in a triangle the entire time. Mm-hmm. But instead of like trying to sweep, I was trying something. I forgot what I was trying, but it was something different. Mm-hmm. And then what I usually do, and it's like, I should have done what I usually do, because then I would have finished them. Yeah. But then he eventually got out and then got my legs. And then this is like, because when I was a purple belt, that was when I was kind of fresh, like I said, fresh off of high school. So when I was in high school and wrestling, everybody was doing all leg locks, so I was still pretty new. I'm learning now mm-hmm. that I'm able to hit it on people. Like, even a little bit, I'm able to, like, kind of go to, like, be in a good, like, leg lock battle with some of our higher level guys here. Yeah. But back then, I was like if you tap me, like, from a leg lock, that was my one weakness, is a leg lock. And like the guy got me in it, and he's like, yo, man, I'm impressed. Like, you gave him a hard time, like someone who's like so much bigger than you, so much more jacked. Like, it looked like the Hulk, bro. Like, and like, he was very impressed with me. Like, I feel like the qualifier and the team duel is what made him like, wow, this kid, he has potential. He has, and he saw something in me. Like, my parents see it too, because they've been with me since the very beginning. But he also sees something, like, when my parents see it, like the potential I have. And then ever since then, like now it's been a year since I've gone been with him at HQ, and my like I could beat myself up from a year. Like if I see my if I see my past self from a year, I could totally whoop my own ass.
I mean, that's the hope. I like to tell people, I'm not stronger or faster than I was then, for sure, like kid version of me, but I'm definitely way wiser with how I use my energy. Like, I'm way smarter in I think tactics, and tactics have been the only reason I survive in jiu-jitsu. So I'm kind of like, oh, I've learned better defenses, I've learned better offenses, I've learned how to make those merge and work for me. So you should be able to beat up that kid, and it is nice to know that, even though the probably younger version of you with a little bit more of the wrestling base would have been like, we're pulling guard and doing rubber guard, what's this? So,
well, it's because I did jiu-jitsu before, so he wouldn't be, why are we pulling guard? But he would be like, what is rubber guard? He would definitely be like, what are you doing?
I mean, it's a thing that now you grew up in a generation where you could do both, but a long time ago, wrestlers, even dude, I have a wrestler now who's starting to take classes with us, and he was like, so what are we going to do? And I go, you have to play off your back.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, and I go, no, just, you're already good at taking down people. What are we going to do? Like, why are you going to keep getting better at that if you know that once you get to the ground, you're probably going to get worked? So why not start from where you would get worked and get better at that? And he's like, right. It's just getting used to being
on my back.
As if they took me down. I was like, they didn't take you down. You chose.
You just started.
There you go. So we've already done that. In this particular case, when did Eddie tell you that you were going to be on this card?
I'm going to say a little bit after the qualifier for that specific card. Okay. And he's like, you did really good. And I like that you showed off. You did whatever. Like, you just did your best. And if you have potential, so I want to give you a special match for that. Obviously, you're not against a non-10-20 guy. Sure. So there's no 10 on 10 crime. But yeah, and then I went in there. And I was pretty nervous because I went in there I didn't really look him up, but I kind of knew a little bit that he's a boxer. So I'm like, oh, I gotta be careful when he tries to strike me, because he's more familiar with striking than I am.
Right.
But then what's actually funny is so funny is that before, when we walked in, and when we walked in, I saw Eddie. That was the first time I saw him since for the trip. And I'm like, hey, what's up, Eddie? And he's talking to B-Mac, and he's like, and Eddie was telling him like, man, no one can pass this guy's guard. No one can do this. No one could do that. He's like, I bet he's gonna finish someone with rubber guard. That's all we work is rubber guard. Like, I'm not kidding. And literally, he's like, he has like the invisible collar. Like, he does that. Like, he gets everybody in it. And when that happened, like, he's literally like, if you go back, like, him and Mike John were like, yeah. But he goes up to me, he's like, just like we said. And he ran to the guy to make sure he was okay. And then literally after the event, B-Mac was talking to me. He's like, dude, it was literally like, you guys were literally talking about that. Like, and it went exactly as you said it, like how Eddie said it was gonna happen. Like, you were gonna get him in go-go clinch, and then it would be game over.
Did you feel anything when he just kind of like fell? Like, I've never seen a moment like that in combat jiu-jitsu, because we don't have a ton of moments like that. Like, people get put to sleep, whatever. That's an unusual position. You're thinking maybe this dude's just eating it and maybe they might stop it due to strikes. And then the coup de grace of this whole story is dude went night-night.
Yeah.
And when that happened and he kind of just falls lifelessly, what's going through your brain? Because I don't know what would go through my brain in that. I was just like, moment. I just fucking
did that, bro. Like, I just did that, and that's the first time I've ever made anybody pass out. So I'm like, because I felt him, like, when I was hitting him, in the beginning of the match, when we were standing, it's gonna sound so stupid, but in the beginning of the match, he tried to grab my hand and try to make me hit myself, and I'm just like, what? I'm like, what is this guy trying to do? And I was like, he's not like, we can't even strike right now. We're standing. So it got me mad, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get him back later. It's not me right. I'm gonna get him later, not now. And then when I had him in rubber guard, I had him in the clinch, in the go-go plata, and I was trying to sweep him, and then I can hear him choking. So I'm like, oh, okay, at least it's choking him. So he's gonna either fall or tap. And then he tried hitting me to try and get out. And I'm like, oh wait, yeah, I can fight. I can punch him. And I started hitting him like crazy. It's like where if it was like I was imagining that like me hitting the dummy, so I was just going hard. Yeah. Bah, bah, bah. And then I felt him like go a little like start like easing, which is why I stopped. Yeah. And it's like you don't want to like it's really fucked up if you pass someone out like they're knocked out and you keep hitting them. Because that could really hurt. That could like, even though we're in a like, don't get me wrong, we're in a combat sport. We're in a sport where we're trying to, like, you know, we're trying to kill each other, or we're learning how to kill each other. But still, you don't want to like really permanently damage them. Of course. You know, like even though we are fighting. So when I had him there, that's why like if you see that I stopped because I realized he was out. I was waiting for the ref or Mike to say, hey, that's it, you know. And when I was getting off him, it was kind of hard because I never had a limp body on me like that. Sure. So at first it was like weird to like bring my leg out because he was so limp like that, and I accidentally kicked Mike. I was trying to get my leg out, and he was like, dude, I'm sorry. He's like, oh man, it's okay. And even after, I'm like, again, I want to apologize for like kicking you in the head. And he's like, dude, it's okay. Like, you were just trying to get off. Like, you're trying to get your leg out. You know, it happens. Like, it was a limp guy. Like, it's hard. It's different than having, like, a person who was at least conscious and also helping you get out. Like, it's different.
It made me laugh because, you know, I think I've seen it with a fighter that's gotten a triangle. I've seen it almost with, like, I want to say a Diaz brother, where they're in the triangle and there's no easy way to get out. Like you're starting, you release the legs and then you start trying to celebrate at the same time. So I think I've seen somebody like their head still in the triangle and they're like putting their hands up like that. It felt like that when I watched your clip because I go, oh, he wants to celebrate, but he's also like, hey, I need to get out of this. Yeah. But it shows what a complex situation you're in when you, I told one of my friends, I go, he looked like an older person than us trying to get up out of bed in the morning. Like, oh, hold on. I know how to do it. Oh.
Yeah, because my leg was like in an awkward position. Even though my leg is comfortable in there. Yeah. It's just, like I said, it's just different when there's a limp person there.
Yeah, dude, it's a heavy ass person.
It's a heavy ass person and they're like, they're not conscious, so they can't bring their head out. They can't like help you guide your leg out. And you're trying to not like, you can't like pull like straight out because then that's like also like making it tighter. So since they're passed out, you gotta go around.
Yeah. So okay, I should ask this: what was the funniest response you saw to it? Because we, you know, over the years we've had clips go viral, and yours is an athletic achievement, right? I've put clips where we've tried to say something positive and nice about somebody, but there's a joke attached to it, and then people just take it a certain way. So when it reaches that big of a consensus of people who like it in that comment section, it can sometimes be wild.
Oh, yeah.
So what was the wildest or craziest reaction that you saw from all of this hubbub? Because I'm pretty sure there might have still even been some people who are like, that shit wouldn't work on me. Or, I can't believe that.
What's funny is that there's a lot of people like that in that comment section. There's a lot of people that are like, yo, yeah, that's great, that's off. And I have like people here that train with us clowning in that comment section, like, I'll do this to Mike John, or Mike says, like, because we have another guy and he's also named Dominic, he's like, I'll do that to Dominic, like 100%. and then my other guy is like, yeah. So there's a lot of comments like that, and I love them. Because I know them, and they know.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. Yeah. And he's like, I can't wait to hit this on somebody, or you know, but then there's also like the comments that really commentating on it. because it's really weird. But what's funny is that BMAC has like defends me in it.
Nice. Yeah, of course.
And he roasts like them so bad, and it's so funny. Like I don't know if I can say it on there, but it's really funny.
Over the years, my policy has always been, and our friend Mike John will attest to this, I don't do a joke on air that I wouldn't do to your face.
Exactly.
And I feel like that would change a lot of people online, because I've seen people over the years be like, I can't believe you said this about this person. And I go, I know them. They know what we do, and they probably would laugh. And if they were really hurt about it, they would reach out, but nobody's ever been hurt. They've been angry, or they've been like, damn, I can't believe you got me.
A little bit annoyed or something.
Yeah, but like,
they're not going to end a friendship over it.
But most of the people have a pretty thick skin in this, you know what I mean? But they should. What I've seen, though, is when somebody like you, who I'm sure is new to a lot of people in this big of a clip with this many millions of people looking at it, you're getting a lot of wide audiences. I just always think, is the first thing that you really want to say to this guy who got an undeniably cool clip, that wouldn't work. Like, haterade on it, and you just go, it did work. It happened, and it's not only something that's happened, but its uniqueness made it so much more that we should appreciate how cool it is. So to me, I sometimes I will make the mistake of going in the comment section just to go like, well, who would shit on that? Oh, they did. Oh, that's weird. So that was my reaction to it, but it was for the most part pretty positive.
Yeah, and it's like, can't like let the haters hate, honestly. Like you know, there's always gonna be at least some of them out there.
Yeah.
And you just gotta, just learn to ignore and laugh, and them like, haha.
Yeah, but again, I just thought, I was like, yo, that's undeniably good.
Like I have a like, it's obviously it's not as big as that one, but I competed at that tournament at Nogi Worlds.
Okay.
And I hit this like insane triangle like in the first 5 seconds of the match, and there was no slamming allowed in it, right? Because it's right. It's like IBJJF, and he picks me up, but I'm squeezing the choke, and he's like starting to like pass out. He starts tap, and he taps like while picking me up in the air, and I'm choking him in the air. And then I see people going like, why didn't you slam him? Why didn't he slam him? Because he would have been slammed. And it's like, bro, there's no slams allowed. Obviously, I would have hooked the leg. Like I would have hooked, like, so there's people that I know. I already knew there was gonna be people like that. So
it is like, very funny to me, because then I also go, you clearly didn't read the rules, sir. If you have the time to comment in here, I can almost guarantee you didn't take the time to figure out the nuances of the IBJJF rule policy.
And you know what's funny is that most of those people are white belts, so it's like they don't know at all. It's like, yo, you can't talk.
Well,
you can't talk.
I've also learned to roll with the punches and just laugh at it.
Yeah,
because most of the time when people are on there, I'm not saying I'll beat all of them, but I'm like, I'll probably do okay with some of these guys if they come roll. And I have a pretty open policy, which is you can always just come train with us. Usually. And if y'all don't believe this, man, I'm happy to set up a time for you to roll with him. Nonetheless, I wanted to commend you for that, because to me, we've been very happy with your performances at Subversive. So it was pretty dope to see you get this other moment at EBI and to deliver on a performance that I knew Eddie has been really excited to see you grow. And so when I see those moments, I was like, well, for sure, let's reach out and like, let's make this happen. But I also had to time it, because I go, oh, this is going really viral. All right. Hey, kid, we'll talk soon. But like, just so you know, I want to put my time in. We'll figure out a time later. So that is kind of how it worked for me. But it wasn't just the EBI. It was the story of, damn, watching you compete. I've seen that clip of you getting picked up, and I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh, okay, that's IBJJF competition.
No, yeah.
Sounds good. So it's a good trajectory, and it made me want to know more about you. And what I can say is in the time I was setting up here, there's a few things that I learned about you. One, big nerd.
Yes.
So I don't know if people know this about you, and maybe your kids know this about you in your kids' class. Maybe a lot of the hardcores here at 10th Planet Orange know this, but you spoke in such an eloquent way about the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise in a way that I was like, I didn't know you had that in you. So why is it that you love Sonic the Hedgehog, and what do you connect with most about that character?
I don't know. It's like, because I got into it when I was a little kid. Like, I think it's like, I'm gonna say it's before I did Jiu-Jitsu. I remember in the backlogs.
Okay.
I got into it because they used to have this anime, Sonic the Hedgehog anime, the Sonic X. I used to watch that a lot in the mornings, and just how they portrayed Sonic in that show, where he's like a carefree. So he's so carefree, but he cares about the people, his friends, and saving everybody. And he's kind of like, it's weird. It's kind of like, because he takes like inspiration, like the Sonic series takes inspiration from Dragon Ball, like a lot of inspiration. So, but he has like a kind of like a Peter Parker type mentality, where he's like, as he's like fighting like the villains, he's like making fun of them or like roasting. Like he's just like, hey, what are you like? And I feel like, because he's always, no matter what, like even like the hate, like there's a lot of people that are like, man, why do you play that? It's like garbage games, which it's okay. Like I'm used to it. Like there's a lot of games, Sonic games out there that are really bad, but his character is always like, he just rolls with the punches and he just keeps going, and he doesn't care about what people say about him. He just lives by himself, or he goes by his sense of like, I'm gonna do what's right. And I'm gonna keep doing what's right. If people don't like it, then they can just not like it. And that's why, at least when I was a kid, I liked that a lot. And then when I got into jiu-jitsu, I kind of told him more. Okay,
so the reason why it became so intriguing to me was your way of describing the Justice League crossover, the DC crossover with the Sonic. I think I remembered reading it in a business trade that it was going to happen, but I put it out of my mind. So when you brought it up to me, I go, oh, it happened. I read that as a blip, but you're sitting here being like, nah, man, it's the truth. You got to read it. It's so good. Why do people need to know this collaboration exists? And why do you think they should like go to find it?
It's because like the character dynamics with all the characters that they have in there, like the whole, it's like dark side. Like I told you, it's like dark side coming to trying to find different worlds to conquer, or to use that to conquer like the multiverse. And he goes into the Sonic world, and he's gonna try using the 7 Chaos Emeralds as a power source. But the only thing that can counteract it is like the Master Emerald and Angel Island. And I keep forgetting the names of his minions. The parademons. Yes. And like they have parademons storming Angel Island, and like Knuckles is like soloing all of them, like beating them all up, like he's winning, like he's nice. And then they just destroy the Master Emerald with like energy from dark side. So like there's no Master Emerald, which I'm pretty sure they'll find a way to like say you can bring it back to like, because like in a different Sonic games, like to prevent Eggman from taking the Master Emerald, Knuckles like punches it, breaking it, and like he can put it back together. So I would assume something like that would happen later down the line. And then the Justice League are there in the world, and like all their characters like mesh so well. Like the Flash, they had like pair like the Flash with Sonic. Obviously, come on, it's just too fast people.
Dead giveaway. Yeah, absolutely.
But like ones that really work is like Batman and Shadow the Hedgehog, because they both have this like a similar backstory where they both lost like loved ones of their family, and it's what kind of drives them to do what they do, to be like an anti-hero kind of.
You know, the more you think about it, the more it does make sense, because you figure with the Master Emerald, that's kind of like the MacGuffin of that world, right? Like, oh, we need to protect this. It's a power source. For Darkseid, a lot of his comic lore is the anti-life matter equation. So a lot of times it's using this to kill people. So you're taking away like, oh, let's put them together because they're very similar in what their MacGuffins do to their worlds and how it can affect each other. So as you were explaining this, I was thinking, I was like, oh, right. Yeah. Shadowcat is basically Batman, you know, when you watch that. And then we were talking a little bit just about the movies, and I'm not as deep in the lore as you are, but having seen the movies, I have enough of a working definition of, I remember playing the very first Sonic games. And then,
I play those too.
But then after a certain point, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm good. Because I just stopped playing video games. And now seeing that world embraced, we bullied the Sonic team into making a much better movie with the character renders.
Oh, yeah.
And then they came back and they were wonderful. And they're very cute. They're very well done. And there's a little story. I don't know if you've heard this, but I guess Adam Sandler got a call one day from Daniel Day-Lewis. He had just watched the movie Hidden Gems with Adam Sandler. And it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. And it's insane. And then he was just telling him, like, Daniel Day-Lewis, the best actor in the world, is just telling him, like, that movie is so captivating and you were amazing. And Adam Sandler's like, what are you doing calling me? Wow. A few months later, Adam Sandler says, I guess he's taking his kids to go see Sonic the Hedgehog. And he's watching Jim Carrey and he goes, Jim, I gotta call you, man, because I just, like, you're just killing it. And he's not wrong. Jim Carrey in these movies is like, oh my God.
It's like OG Jim Carrey.
Off the charts good. Like, even if you take out the kid element from this, and you shouldn't, because it works, it makes it a degree of difficulty that much harder to bring this character that at the time Jim Carrey said, you know, I think I might be done. I think I might need to retire because I'm just so bored, and found inspiration to come do these movies again.
Yeah,
where he's like, I'm retired. And they go, you want to do Sonic 3? He's like, yeah, I'll do that. All right. I'm retired for that.
And I think he also had a lot of fun doing that because I think also some of it, like especially in 3, I think don't like quote me on this, but I think some of it's also script. Like he goes off script and he does his own
improv
thing.
some of it. Yeah,
it's like you know like the Grinch, like the live action Grinch, right? Mm-hmm. Where like there's some scenes that he improvs or some scenes that weren't supposed to happen and they keep it in.
Yeah.
Like the that scene where he has the set table and he takes it off, like he gets the tablecloth and he pulls it and everything lands, and then the Grinch goes back and like breaks it all. That wasn't supposed to happen. The whole point was like he's supposed to go and break it, but then Jim like did it like I like went back like on himself and he just went man like yeah that's a take, but we got to retake that, but they kept that in, which I'm glad they kept.
In case you were wondering, he's not just wearing a jersey. Dom knows ball, like he knows Jim Carrey lore and whatnot, so that's very good. I'm glad that it. So is there other characters that eclipse your love for Sonic? Because I didn't assume that's the one you love the most, but the fact that you spent a good 10 minutes to me talking about that said, well, definitely matters to you. So who are the characters, if they matter more or that matter just as much to you? Because you mentioned anime, and I'm assuming, given your background, that's also something that you're hugely interested in.
Yeah. I actually like Dragon Ball. I like Dragon Ball a lot.
But is Dragon Ball higher than Sonic?
Ooh. That might be the same because they. I feel like it, like but Sonic's like always like all the way up on my fucking chart list. So
but that, wait, no, that's exactly. We literally were here. We're like it's same. If you put Sonic all up here, you can't have them both like this.
Because for the longest time when I grew up, I also played a lot of Nintendo, so I always like I like Sonic and I like Mario, and they'll be tied. Like they're always like because you know how back in the day there was always the console wars. And so every time I look back on it, I think it's very interesting, especially for like the game console that doesn't matter. But then it's like you can see like how they marketed to compare the two different characters completely differently. Mm-hmm. So for the longest time, I'm like, I like both sides. Like I don't, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to lean towards more Sonic more, especially nowadays, because back then when they did the Sonic the Hedgehog comics for Archie, that main writer is now writing for IDW, which is the mainline comics for Sonic the Hedgehog, and they also now let him write the story, and I feel like he understands how they work more than Sega, which is kind of it's kind of weird to think about, but he gives them all like even though like there's some like restraints he can't do, but he still works around it. And like one of the characters in Sonic, Silver the Hedgehog, is literally inspired by future Trunks in Dragon Ball. Like they're both from a distant future where it's really bad, it's garbage, and they try to go back in time to fix the error that's in the past to fix the future. And both turn super. They both turn super. Oh my god, they both turn super. But even though there are subtle differences, but they've even gone out of their way saying that he is inspired by future Trunks in Dragon Ball.
So let me ask this, because I know Mike John. I don't know what he's doing when you get deep into this lore, because I don't think he can keep up with you in this way.
Oh no, he can't.
So what happens when you make mention of this? Do you have other people here at 10th Planet you can talk ball with like this?
Yes.
Okay, but not Mike John for sure, because Mike John is the old. So
I'm not saying he's
I
the
could
old.
call him old. I'm older than him. But like comparatively, I'm less curmudgeon-y than he is. Let's just be very honest, because I can still understand like, oh, hey, you're talking about Sonic. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know as much as you, but I'm learning as I go. Mike John seems like somebody who checked out minute 5 of that part of that video right then and there.
Yeah.
So how is it that he's able to look? Did he just call you a nerd, or what happens?
Yeah,
there?
he's like, you nerd. He's like, he always calls me like child. He calls me a child because I like all these stuff, and I'm and I have like a hyperfixation on all these weird things.
I mean, you do, but here's the reason why it's so important. Because as we were talking a little bit, you were telling me what you were wanting to do. So you are going to college right now. What are you majoring in, and where do you want to go, and what do you want to do in the future if you had your choice?
Well, right now I'm studying computer science at Cal State Fullerton. Cal State Fullerton. And then once I get my degree, if I don't open up a school, because I'm thinking of that, I'm definitely gonna open up a school at least somewhere
At some time.
sometime. But like, I also want to make video games because there's a lot of it's just fun to make. Like, I'm making a mod for a game called Friday Night Funkin'. As much I don't know if a lot of people like that game, but it's a rhythm game. It's really I think it's fun. I followed those creators, like the creators of that game. I followed a lot since I was a kid, which honestly I shouldn't be on Newgrounds. On a website called Newgrounds. It's a fun like Newgrounds it's a website made. The slogan is everything by everyone. So you can make games on there. You can make art, animated show. Like it's just music. Like it's whatever you want. Like ever seen that like really old video of that guy? I think it's called Numa Numa.
Yes.
That started on Newgrounds.
Okay.
That started on Newgrounds, but then because of copyright, it had to get taken down. It was
Gotcha.
uploaded on YouTube. But like, you can do whatever you want on Newgrounds, and it's ran by the people, and there's a rating system, and like if you get 0 stars and people know that like you took it from somebody or you sold something from somebody, then there's this thing called blamming, and then your submission gets blammed, so it gets removed from the website. Removed, so it's ran by fans and by the people, and a lot of like the humor there is pretty dark humor, but
Sure.
It's kind of funny. It's still funny nowadays. That's why my sense of humor is from that a lot. It's a lot from that.
Understood.
And
But it also makes it so that you can hang out here.
yeah,
Given the people that I
take a
know.
joke, I don't get offended.
Yeah.
like I don't get offended if you call me like fat or whatever. Like
Nobody should be calling you fat.
I know. I'm just saying.
Just but look at you. Like anybody who thinks they're gonna call him fat, where?
don't hear my gut.
Yeah, for sure. All $1.45 of you is like, oh, I'm fat. Like, get the fuck out of here. So, the reason why I was curious about that is when you mentioned your love of video games, and I clearly see you as this guy who has a bright future for your jiu-jitsu. Sure, you can do both, especially right now, going to school, pro, love that. I just wanted to know why video games, because for you, what is the appeal of doing that? Is it to give back to something that you love so much? Is it that you're so immersed that you're like, man, this is so cool, I want to build these things? Because it's a part of your brain that I don't know that everybody has, even if they share a love of video games? Because a lot of people will play them. Not everybody wants to make them. So what is that extra little part of you that wants to actually make the video games?
I would say because when I was a kid, I was a very, very artsy, creative kid. Like I used to, like, for example, play Minecraft all the time because I was just being creative and I was just build.
Yeah.
And I used to draw a lot. I used to make it like these little like as cringy as it sounds, like these little paper figures, and like I used to have that. I used to make little like clips and like, hey, look, it's me like this, ha ha ha, and like, so, and my parents loved it. My parents have all that. And I feel like I have that same way. It's like, honestly, I feel that same way also towards jiu-jitsu a little bit, where it's like once I learn a move, I incorporate it in my game, and I find a unique way to incorporate it in my game. It's kind of it's a little, that's what I mean, like it's a little similar, but for games, since I love the storytelling, I love like you can do character designs, like a lot of music. As much as people kind of clown on people for listening to video game OSTs, a lot of them are really good. Like a lot of them are really good, and I like when I'm in school, sometimes I listen to that when I study, like calm like video game music, like Minecraft. They always those are really good. Even though my parents always are like, "How do you find that relaxing?" I'm like, I just do. I just do. It's like supposed to be made, like it's literally made with the intent of like you think about what you want to do, how you want to play the game. Because Minecraft is like an open sandbox game. There's not really an end. Like you can beat it, but there's no story. There's not really a story to the game. So it's just like you can make stuff to create stuff to build big, huge, different things. And so like the music is like supposed to be kind of calm, not really tense. So like I like listening to like music like that when I like do homework, or like when I'm coding, I listen to that. Sometimes I listen to drum and bass because John Cho, my John, got me into drum and bass. So I listen like there's one mix. There's a playlist out there on YouTube that it's like Nintendo 64 drum and bass, and it's a guy mixing a bunch of Nintendo 64 songs, so they have like drum and bass type. So I listen to stuff like that. And when I started actually coding, I got a feel for coding in middle school. And when I went to middle school, it was in a neighborhood that I had to be in. Like I had to be in, some schools are like you have to be in the neighborhood to attend the school. And I was using at the time I was using a friend's address who also I trained with. He got me to that school because I was homeschooled for a year. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, yeah, you should come over. And then there was an elective for coding, and I'm like, wow, that's what I kind of want to do. I might as well try it. And since it was an elective and he was in a grade higher than me, we were both in the same class, and we got to pick what we want, like who we want to be, because like usually that teacher was so cool. He's like one of my favorite teachers. And he let us pick like partners. But you would always you had to stick with that partner for the whole year. And so he's like, meet people, go and meet people for like introduce yourselves, and then if you like, just ask them to be a partner. And I'm like, hey, let's be partners. It's like, yeah, let's do that. And ever since then, like I feel like when we code, we would like just talk shit about like jiu-jitsu, about people, about their games and stuff like that. So it was like, man, I like doing this. Like this is what I kind of want to do now, like in the future. Like, oh, that's unrelated to jiu-jitsu. Like I'm gonna do jiu-jitsu in the future. Like I'm never gonna stop unless I'm like really, really old and I can't roll. I'm still gonna teach, I'm still gonna teach, but definitely be like on the side, like for sure. Like if I'm not at the gym, I'm gonna be doing that coding.
That's pretty cool. So I didn't know that necessarily about you. I knew you were going to school, but I didn't know why. And then I didn't put it together until I started hearing your love for these characters and these comic books and all these different things that, very artistic based. But then to see that now you want to code the game so that future kids can kind of play those things, I think that's pretty cool. It's like a passing the torch. So it's like in the way that you pass your knowledge to the young generation in jiu-jitsu, you also want to do it for coding, and so you can create cool video games that they get to play.
Yeah.
So very imagination based. Can I just say this? Has anybody like drawn you as like a cartoon character? Because I feel like there's some missed merch opportunities here.
I don't know. I have a childhood best friend, and we used to draw each other. And she might have drawn. I forget if she has, but she might have been the only person that drawn me like in her style. Like,
I'm just saying, like, now that you've got what I would consider a very cool anime moment in your jiu-jitsu career, somebody should be drawing that, like Go-Go Clinch is like a character with like action, like stream backgrounds. Like, I just think like stuff like that is cool. And even just putting you in there, you always want it to resonate with the person. So if somebody's like a huge Marvel Comics person, you go, okay, give them an Iron Man rash guard or something cool like that. I feel as you start to evolve and you get that, we need to see if we can get some merch opportunities here for people taking care of my guy over here to get you something cool that makes you stand out even more.
I need it, and honestly, I do need sponsors. I'm looking out for sponsors because I honestly need the money since I'm a college student. Yeah. I'm gonna go back in fall because I had to take a semester off. I'm going back in fall. I really need the money so I can go and compete more because competing is pretty expensive. Like not especially nowadays. Like nothing anything political because I don't like being political that much, but a lot of things have increased in prices online. I feel like one of the main things is also like tournaments. Like now it can be like sometimes it can be like $100 or like $50 to do like a tournament that you can just get booted off in the first round. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, and it used to be way cheaper. So it's like I need that like stuff for money for like rash guard sets because I'm still kind of growing. I'm 20. I'm still growing a little bit. Yeah. So I need and I kind of run through my like the gear I have. Like I just need more. So then I like. That's why I need to be looking for. I need sponsors.
I mean, here's the good news. At the very end of this, we'll give you an opportunity to go ahead and plug yourself, so that way you know people who don't know can do that.
Okay.
So we'll take care of that. But you're not wrong in that these things pile up, and it's wild because if anybody else in any other sport had a viral moment like that, there might have been a Nike or a Pepsi calling and being like, hey kid, that was great, we got our eyes on you, take this money and just say Diet Coke is my favorite, you know. Like done. So I agree, and hopefully people get in early on it. But one thing I would like to know is, you mentioned all of this origin story, this history of you starting. So you're in a rare case where you were doing a wrestling background. You did varsity for wrestling.
Yeah.
But before that, you were doing jiu-jitsu. So how does one pinball back and forth between these things? What was, if you can remember, your first jiu-jitsu experience?
My first jiu-jitsu experience, it was back when I was 7 years old. That's when I started jiu-jitsu when I was 7. And I started jiu-jitsu like because I actually used to get picked on. I used to get picked on for wearing. I'm blind as shit. I have thick frames. I still wear glasses like in the way like on the like for example on the drive back from Mexico from EBI. I didn't wear my contacts because we were like moving, but I was able to come in time before my kids class. But like some days we have another kids class before, and one of my friends, Allison Crawford, she teaches that class, and she's seen me in my glasses before because we've traveled like Mike John and like some of the other guys here and my other friends. We travel with each other, so she's seen me in my glasses, and she's like, "Bro, I am sorry. I know you. I've seen you before, but your frames are so thick." Like,
so hold on. Just comparison shop. Thicker than this.
Yes, way thicker. Thicker. Mine is like if it's like this, like it's coming out of the frame. I'm 9 in both my eyes. Like when I first I was getting picked on. My dad's like, oh, we gotta put you. And my dad used to watch UFC a lot. He still watches it, but I'm like he's like, I gotta put him in like MMA or something so he can defend himself, because I can't be there to defend him. I can't,
Yeah.
He put me in America Top Team. I used to live in Miami, so it was like by Miramar. And when I went, I tried MMA, and when I first did the jiu-jitsu class there, I got beat up, and I cried a lot. And my dad's like, "Damn, maybe this is not it." But then someone my dad knew from high school, he brought his kid there, and was like, "Hey, look, honestly, I think you should start off done with one thing, and it should be jiu-jitsu." And then I just strictly did jiu-jitsu, and then that's how my journey started. And then me and some of my friends I actually still talk to nowadays. Back then we moved from America Top Team to Wagner Rocha. We were training with him. I used to get privates a lot from this black belt under Wagner. His name is Adrian Benavides. But at the time he wasn't a black belt. He's like a blue or purple belt. And I used to get privates with him a lot. And he is the reason why my guard is so good. He's the reason why my close guard is so good, because like I said earlier, I was stubborn. I used to be when I was a kid, I used to be very, very stubborn as a kid. You cannot pay me to play mount. You cannot. I want to just do guard. And my dad's like, "Dude, just get him out." And he's like, I'm like, "But I like guard. I want to stay in guard." I feel like that. I want to stay in my close guard. And I still do situations where I'm mount and I'm holding mount, which is how I'm still I'm good. I have a good foundation of it. But I just would just sometimes I would just let people sweep me so I can just be in my close guard.
Yeah.
And Adrian kind of is the guy responsible for making my close guard so good.
Nice.
Yeah. And I just want to give him that shout out, because I hear a lot of people don't really or don't really know about that, or when they give him or when he gets privates, he doesn't really get that much credit for it. When he is a killer. He's under Wagner Rocha, and Wagner Rocha himself, one of the top guys. So he ain't no slouch. You go against him, you're gonna die.
But that being said, it's cool that you do get to give them props and credit and give that attribution. You obviously find your way here in California. So when you do make it out here, do you go to jiu-jitsu first, or do you start kind of going more toward wrestling? And if so, I guess the thing that I like to ask people next in that line of questioning is, when did you fall in love with jiu-jitsu? So before you left Miami, were you in love with the sport yet, or did that come later?
I was in love with it already.
Yeah.
Because I kept going in it, I kept doing it, and I thought it was fun. And the more I did it, I was just like, man, I don't think I'm ever gonna stop this. It just feels weird when honestly, there'll be days where you're sometimes with everybody in the sport, we're I'm gonna take today off, but then when they do, it's God, it feels weird not training.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm I love this too much. I can't stop training. I had people that I know that I grew up with, and then they are really, really good, and they stop, and they just and it's I try getting them back in, try and reel them back into the sport. Dude, you know how good you'd be right now, dude. And then people that used to whoop my ass, but now they don't do it anymore, and they don't have any interest in the sport.
Yeah. So
and a lot of them kind of regret it though too. A lot of them I regret not doing it. So I'm glad. I love that I have this love for the sport and I stuck with it. Because then I honestly wouldn't be as athletic as I am right now without it. I would probably be if I never had jiu-jitsu, probably be some fat kid on the Discord all day. I'm being completely honest. I eat a lot.
You were telling me this, and I don't know that I believe you.
You don't believe me,
but you were trying to convince me that you are a fat kid at heart, which I always think is the worst phraseology in the human language. When someone's I'm a fat kid at heart, I know you're just trying to relate to me, an actual fat person, by being like, no, same. And I go, no, you're in shape. You have something called abs. I've been told I have them. I don't know how to have them.
Might have run out. But yeah.
You're closer to abs than I am. So let's put it that way. So when somebody like you says, I'm a fat kid, I need verifiables. What are things you could tell me that would further the case that maybe you eat like somebody I would not assume?
Okay, In-N-Out, my order.
Okay.
2 double doubles.
Okay.
Fries and a large drink. And some people are like, dude, that's a lot of food. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm still eating it. And then if we go to if you go to McDonald's with me, 220 pieces. So I can sometimes eat 2 large fries, and that's it. I don't really get like a soft drink there.
So granted, I'm hearing you say this, and what I realize is, yes, if you weren't doing jiu-jitsu, you'd be a little bit bigger.
I would be definitely.
But do you know how I know that? Those were my orders when I was your age.
See, dude, same, bro.
No. I look how I'm supposed to look. I think you're supposed to look had you not done jiu-jitsu, because I wasn't doing jiu-jitsu at the time. So my saving grace was, when I was a kid, I played soccer. So jiu-jitsu really wasn't what it is now. So I didn't know it was available. The closest thing would have been wrestling, but wrestling was during the season of soccer. And as a brown, you're playing soccer. So I was like, yay, this is fun. I love this. So I enjoyed it a lot. It made me fast. My metabolism was great. About 3 years after, still pretty good. So probably about your age at this point. And then as I'm in college and I'm doing other things, metabolism starts fading away from me. Little up. And dude, I used to be at 145 and I couldn't put on weight. I was trying. I was like, let me get to 155, and I think that's where I want to be. I got to 155, a little pudgy at that point, but I was like, all right, 155. Was not stopping at that point. I go, uh-oh, shit. Now we're pot committed to this. Damn. So it wasn't until I found jiu-jitsu, and then jiu-jitsu leveled me, but it didn't make me lose weight. So I got to that magic point now where I just go plus or 5, like up or down, plus or minus 5, up, down. Even at my best, like I'm like, dude, me like a machine, I'm literally 5 pounds down. Do not go below that.
Yeah.
So I like to tell people I do jiu-jitsu so I can eat what I want, and it makes me happy. It makes some of my training partners unhappy when I say I really want to have good food this weekend, so I say we're going to go for another hour, but I feel like I work off my food that way. So this isn't bad.
Yeah.
I will tell you, it's okay, but it doesn't make me think you're a true like fat kid. Like 2 double doubles at the age of 20 is what I think you should be able to do. I'm now in an age where if I've really been starving, those are the rare days I get a 3x3.
Yeah, I had a friend. His name is Kenneth Sweat. Mm-hmm. And dude, he was like, Dom, why don't you just get like a 3, like you said, like a 3x3? I'm like, dude, I can't fit that in my mouth, bro. I gotta eat. I'm like, I can't fit that in my mouth, dude. I do not eat like that. I can't. It has to be separated, bro. Like, you understand?
but it's extra carbs because of the 2 buns. So you have 2 buns. The problem is the buns are pretty delicious. So, listen, dude, there was an era where somebody was like really getting on me, and they go, if you do protein style though, my late 20s ago, if you do protein style ref, it's good for you.
Yeah, isn't that the lettuce wrap, right?
I'm just going to get protein style. And then I would try to eat it, and I would look like the most homeless person you've ever seen. It was not good. So now I go, no, I'll afford some extra calories. I'll just burn it off when I'm doing my stuff.
Yeah, I knew someone in high school that some of us, we went to In-N-Out during lunch as we were seniors. Mm-hmm. And for my high school, you can like, for seniors, they let you go out for like, if you have a break period, like you don't have no class, they let you leave and then come back. And then for lunch, sometimes we went to In-N-Out, and she would get the protein style, like with that lettuce wrap.
Yeah.
And we were clowning, like, bro, why do you come to a fast food place to eat like lettuce and like, or like to eat like a salad? Come on, we're supposed to eat like garbage here. Yeah, but
I mean, hey, you don't know.
I'm not judging. Okay, if anybody out there still does that, You do you. You know, I'm not one to judge. Like I'm weird as well. No one. So we were talking about something like we were literally just talking about something like a couple of minutes ago. Like
Yeah,
I'm weird as enough. I'm weird enough.
I love the idea. He's like, don't listen to me. I'm a guy who plays Sonic the Hedgehog and just wants the code. So, okay, we've gotten to know all those sides of you.
Right.
The one thing I was unsure of is, because I've known you more as a guard guy, and with good reason, what role, if anything, did wrestling have for you? Because you were able to take that wrestling. A lot of jiu-jitsu guys, modern now, it's kind of something they come to our world with. But a lot of people my age had to pick one or the other. So a lot of the times I get wrestlers who are a little bit older, former wrestlers, who go, I want to do this jiu-jitsu thing now. And I go, great. You have to forget you're not a wrestler anymore. You like, for two reasons. One, to learn it as pure as you can for the jiu-jitsu side. And two, if they're older, I go, you can't wrestle like you did when you were 18. And you're going to run into brick walls that are young and will hurt you.
Yeah.
So for you, what benefits did you get from your wrestling, and how did that better inform your jiu-jitsu, if at all?
I would say more my standing, my stand-up game. Like, even though I haven't really wrestled in a while, so it can be a little bit rusty, but like I'm still good. Like when I was in wrestling in high school, I was varsity all 4 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was varsity all 4 years. My main thing was taking the back leg riding. Like, come on, that's pure jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And I feel like controlling in the back, because I'm so used to controlling the back from jiu-jitsu, because I would always be doing like those drills where it's like one person's in turtle and then you're just circling around. Like, I'm so used to like keeping my weight. I was already good with that because of jiu-jitsu, but like I didn't really have good stand-up because I would always be either in guard or sweep to mount or take the back. Like, that was like one thing I wasn't at the time really that good at, was standing. So wrestling definitely helped me with that a lot. I know like mechanics for like takedowns, like because sometimes like when people teach wrestling and jiu-jitsu, they think of it from a jiu-jitsu perspective,
Right.
which is good, but at the same time, it's not the same detail as a wrestler.
Sure.
And when you learn it as a wrestler, that's like feels like the only way you should really do it. Like, there's a bunch, for example, now after wrestling, back at jiu-jitsu, my main takedown in wrestling was a high crotch. A high crotch. Sometimes single, but that was my main move, was a high crotch. I can't really do high crotch anymore because guess what? If I head down slightly, I'm getting guillotined.
Yeah.
If I ever roll with Mike John, I gotta be careful with that. Mike John's always getting me in guillotines when you do stuff like that.
That one-hit wonder.
Yeah, he is. That's like the more like, if you say Mike John isn't good at anything, that is the one thing he's really, really good at. Like, he gets out on everybody.
You know, it's kind of weird because I do like saying he's not good at a lot of stuff. So it's really hard for me to. I will tell you, he and I think part of the reason why it is a fun game for us, he's done it a couple times, I think. But we've trained a few times here and there. We don't get to see each other all the time. But there was an era in like 2019, I want to say, or 2017, where for like an ADCC, we were helping one of our homies. So I like brought together a little bit of an Avengers crew that was like, hey, you do this well, you do this well. And I would be in there even though I wasn't training for it. I was just providing the room. And because my head is giant, it's a golden goose. And a lot of people can't guillotine me. But that only made Mike John more zeroed in on it.
Yeah, like I want to get.
And I would look at him and I go, you could do other things. He's like, nope. And I go, we'll try the other things. So that is why I feel like we are oil, water, fire, ice. Like, we are diametrically opposed people because he's so good at that. And my head is so, for most other people, difficult to guillotine. Yesterday, there was a guy who I found out was a D1 wrestler. By the way, shout out to this person. But we got a text. We were planning some training. And this dude does this an hour before we're about to train. It was me, one other guy, and him. An hour before we were about to train, he goes, "Hey man, would it be cool if like my friend trained with us?" And I go, "Yeah, sure." He goes, "Yeah, that way we don't have to have somebody sit out at any given time." I was like, "Yeah, whatever, dude, all good." He's like, "Yeah, just one of my new guys." Walk in there. My buddy looks at him and goes, "Oh my God, you're a state champion wrestler. I used to wrestle when you wrestled." And I was like, "Just some random guy?" And he goes, "I didn't know he was like that." He goes, "I knew he was good at wrestling. I just assumed like, oh damn, he's pretty good."
Yeah.
I go, "You didn't do any background check on a two-time state wrestler?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I go, "And this is the dude you just said like, oh, he's just here." Dude, okay. So I start rolling with this kid and I ask him, I go, "How long have you been training?" He goes, "Since November." And he was already putting up great threats. His passing was good. Everything was good on him. And I just said, "Hey kid, I'm only going to roll with you for 2 more years if we meet. Because after that, it's done. Like, you're going to have all the secrets. You'll know all my tricks. But I hope to run into you again." And he had such a great attitude because he literally he was asking questions. But I never try to be too offensive. Like, if I find something's really good about somebody, I try not to say it in a condescending way, but I just try to highlight, like, yo, that's really good. If they catch me or not, I just go, that's really cool. If you don't know what you're doing, you're on the right path. Do this. And try to give them perspective that they may not have yet. Or if they do, reinforces, like, oh, shit, yeah, this is your game. Try to be here. So I literally was telling this kid, I was, like, pointing out his good stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, that's awesome." But I did tell him one thing, and I was like, "Hey man, so I'm a huge pro wrestling fan." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "So a lot of times I'll hit a cradle and then I'll count to 3. Like, I'll use my foot to go 1, 2, 3. All my guys will try to kick out and get like a shoulder up because that's what you do in pro wrestling. But for our guys, what they learn is don't stay on your back forever. Like, be active with what you're doing and try to make sure you're making better decisions so that you make the most, especially if they're competing." I'm like, "Hey man, once they pass, those points are going to kick in and that sucks." So they've gotten really good at it, but I just told him, I was like, "My gift to you is I want you to do that to the guy who didn't tell us we were training with you today." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll definitely do that to him." He's like, "I'm a pro wrestling fan too." I was like, "Never stop doing it to him." And he goes, "That sounds good. I'm going to do that." So now I was like, that's what you get for surprising us with, "Oh yeah, he's a D1 wrestler, no big deal." And you go,
He's a state.
okay,
2-time state champion.
Sounds good, bud. But I like to have like an understanding with wrestlers, which is I think they're very valuable to have in our sport because they can make it exciting.
Yes.
And I feel like we have a value in them, which is we give them something to do after wrestling because there's only so many opportunities. After college, really, how much are you wrestling on a professional level after that? So I usually just try to be like, "Hey, come here. You're a goon. We'll teach you." But goddamn, if they aren't some of the best drillers you're going to have.
No,
so
yeah.
that's really cool.
It's also like, because they also control like a lot too. So they understand like when pinning, right? So when you pin someone, like you're always on top.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you pin in a mounted position.
Yeah.
And you're holding them down there. So I feel like when a wrestler transitions into jiu-jitsu, I think that at least like pinning, like getting a mount is gonna help a lot from wrestling. The only thing like you were saying earlier is like when you have to get them, they have to be used to being on their back.
Yeah.
Which is a big part of jiu-jitsu, is being on your back, because it's not a bad position. Sometimes it is a very good position.
Clearly.
Coming from me. But it is a very good position. Even like the only time it's like bad is like if you're a mount. Like if someone has you on mount.
Yeah.
But that's really the only thing.
But the dumb part of this sport is you kind of have to train everything.
Yeah.
So you have to give people your back so that you learn how to get out of it. Otherwise, the first person that's going to get your back is going to win like crazy.
And then they're going to choke you.
Yeah, so that's why I think there is a benefit to like EBI overtime.
No, yeah, I like EBI overtime a lot.
I'm sure you do. But like, I am not a 10th Planet affiliate.
Yeah.
So when they were first doing them as an overtime, I remember being like, "Hey guys, you better train this." And they're like, "Why?" I go, "Because 10th Planet's about to gang you out in this rule set real bad." And I go, and they're from functional jiu-jitsu standpoints that you should be training. Yeah. So arm bars exist in IBJJF, you should probably learn how to defend it. Back takes are a real thing. Doesn't matter who you are, 10th planet or not. Even if you're worried if it's a twister or not and they can or can't do it, I'm like, you just have to train because you know they are.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, that's why you see so many artists in 10th planet who are so good at it that I go, damn, that's impressive. Like if I do get a back take on somebody that is from 10th planet, man, I got to work to make sure I keep that. So it's a good skill to have.
Yeah, like a lot of people, like a lot of times at headquarters, we do EBIOT, like just to practice it, and sometimes we do like situationals, like from legs, sometimes from like just mount holding the like trying to hold position, and I feel like because we do that almost all the time, we do that every day, that everybody gets good at it pretty quickly. And it's like the same thing here at Orange. Like John Cho has us doing a lot of situationals every day, and they're based on like the week. So like for example, like I say like this week is guard or like lockdown. He'll have us in lockdown or like in side, and then once in side control, and then once times in mount, or like if it's guard, then it's like closed guard, or it's like in supine, like someone trying to pass but you're not trying to let them pass, and then it's with connections you can sweep, and then it's like closed guard. And then we do like wrestling. He calls them wrestling games. There's wrestling with like a little bit of rules. And they're pretty fun too. I
mean, I feel like that is I like to tell people, I go, if we do wrestling rounds in my gym, what I like to do for them is I do something called you got to take away all your jiu-jitsu. So it's more of a situational wrestling. It's not real wrestling. It's like jiu-jitsu wrestling. And I tell the guys, I'm like, when I give up all my jiu-jitsu powers, it's harder for me because I know all the tricks from jiu-jitsu. So we'll do like a stand-up round from feet to finish kind of a thing for wrestling, just with the intention of mix it up. So yeah, that definitely resonates with me. Well, sir, listen, we've covered a lot of good ground. We've gotten to know you a lot better, but I usually like to close with an opportunity for you to shout out your sponsors. We don't have them here, so I guess it's a good time to solicit. So that camera there, but then also give a shout out to friends and family members and anybody who helped you get ready for this most recent excellent performance that you had at EBI. And I guess before like stuff is coming up. Are we allowed to talk about stuff?
I don't know, because it's not a lot of stuff.
Stuff isn't locked in.
It's not like edged in stone yet.
Got it.
So
but like stuff could happen that's really dope that maybe people would see later in the summer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Just as of this right now,
we don't know.
We don't know yet.
Okay.
We can't talk about.
You have to understand that it is very difficult for me, who has knowledge of a lot of stuff. Sometimes
it's hard for me too
to then tell people like, yes, I saw that person, but we couldn't talk about it then. I just knew in my head, I was like, oh, if things played out, it would be a great opportunity. So we'll see if those opportunities do manifest. But until then, that camera's yours. Give a shout out to friends and family, and let people know why they should sponsor you, sir.
Hello. Okay. So if you want to sponsor me, I am the hardest worker in any of the rooms anywhere. You can come to Orange, you can go to headquarters, you can ask. Like, I'm there all the time. I train at least 4 hours a day. I train in the morning, I train at night, and I teach a kids class before I train in my night class for an hour. So I'm at the gym like almost all the time. I'm also a college student. I'm going back, like I said, I'm going back to college in this upcoming fall. So if that doesn't spell out like I'm a hardworking guy, that I'm able to balance jiu-jitsu and college, then I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, if anybody is out there who wants to sponsor me, I'm just gonna let you know that I'm not gonna disappoint you. I'll go the extra mile every time, and it's worth the money for the sponsorship.
Okay.
And then if you want to follow me, my Instagram is Lobo1 on BJJ. And then I want to shout out also my mom makes flan and cheesecake and a bunch of other sweets that he's actually going to try right now.
I'm very excited for this, by the way. Like, this is the added benefit of coming here because I am hungry at this point. But yes, I did not know that I would be getting specialness, these treats that are coming my way. So thank you in advance.
Yeah, and my mom makes them. We're starting like a little small business. If you want, go follow Giovanna_flan on Instagram. It's like the best flan you ever had. Believe me, everybody that tries it, whenever they go and try a different flan, they're like, "This is shit." I have to have Dom's Giovanna's flan. Like there's no other way. And yeah, you guys should go check follow my mom on there. I'm gonna give a shout out to all my coaches that helped me, Eddie Bravo, Mike John, of course, and I want to also shout out John Cho because he also, honestly, he is the reason why he's responsible for why I even started Rubber Guard in the first place. But yeah, I want to give them all a shout out. Some of my coaches in the past, like I've already kind of mentioned here, I want to give a shout out to Wagner Rocha, Adrian Benavides. They kind of been there since I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I know we haven't really gone into it that much, but I also used to train at AOJ and with a guy named Jason Manley. If you're aware of him, he's a Sister Gracie black belt. I also want to give him a shout out too. And yeah, and thanks for all my friends, my friends here at Orange for even helping me get ready for that match. That put up with my guard, and yeah, a lot of them have tried to avoid. But yeah, I think it was such a pleasure being on this podcast. You know, it's the first time I've ever done it, and it was really, really fun. I'm looking forward to doing it again in the future. But yeah.
Great. Thank you for that. That's very nice of you to say. And, you know, for reasons, we didn't get to train here today. Now, I'm of two minds of this. One, I'm disappointed because, as I mentioned, as a fat kid, I have to train to work off my food. So now I'm going to have food that I didn't work off. But two, I don't know that I want to deal with your guard. So, like, I know it's an inevitability. I am the host that says, okay, I give into this. Let's try it. And there are definitely people who have specialties that when I roll with them, I put myself into those positions and go, all right, let's see it. It's not fun. So I had subscribed to that mentality, and now I did not. So I am going to take this opportunity to say that Dom is scared of me. And now we have it on tape, and it just is what it is. So I'm very sorry.
Hey, man, guys, his words, not mine. I don't mind rolling with him. I want to roll with him. Mm-hmm. But he says, I don't know. He's putting words in my mouth.
I'm just saying.
He's putting words in my mouth, guys.
This kid specifically did not bring gear.
When he got here, I was in gear. We had just finished.
No. You were not in gear when I was here.
I was.
You were not.
I just had my rash guard off.
That's not gear.
I had my set still
No. You were just like, no, I'm done. Oh, no, I'm going to shower right now. So I'm just saying what I am putting out here is factually true. Having said that, in the future, I'm sure we will get the opportunity to train, and I'm sure there will be another opportunity that you'll do something great and do that. But if I could take a stab, I would like to try to tell people why they should sponsor you. Would you like to see that?
Yes.
Okay. What is it you think I should really hammer home? Like, what is unique about you in a way that is not unique about other people?
My guard.
Outside of jiu-jitsu.
Okay. Outside of jiu-jitsu, like I said, I'm a hardworking guy.
Okay.
I'm in college.
Okay.
I even lift. I go and lift too sometimes.
I can't.
I know.
I don't see it.
I
But-
have to be more, but still, I still go out and I lift, and that's really all I do. Is,
All right.
is
Inch up. I want to make sure you're deeply in frame for this. All right. Allow me. Hello, everybody. This is Dom Lobo. Why do you know him? Well, you saw the clip of him. There's no way you didn't. There's no way that you looked at anything revolving around jiu-jitsu and didn't see this man's face. Not only kill a guy, he's alive, he's fine, but then have the hardest time trying to get out of his own mechanism, his own guard. It was like, hey man, I can't get out of this. He kicked Mike Beltran and lived to tell the tale. Not a lot of people have done that before. That man is literally like the Danny Trejo of our world. So what I'm saying to you guys is this. If you want to spend some money, you could spend it a lot of different ways. But do you want to spend it with somebody who loves Sonic the Hedgehog in such a deep, deep way that he will tell you the benefits and the virtues of the 7 different emeralds that power that world? Listen, this kid knows ball. And not only that, he'll talk to you about Minecraft. He'll make sure that he's making the next Minecraft. And I'm asking you, don't you want to be nice to the kid who's about to create the next Minecraft? So if you want to get in, buy low, sell high, sponsor this man so that he can go to other tournaments and give you great highlights. If that doesn't work, his family makes flan. You want that flan? You better be talking to this kid. And the last thing to remind you of this. I don't think he's thought about this, but we should really make him as a for-hire hitman. If there's somebody you don't like, he will go clinch them for you. You just bring him to the gym and just say like, yo, I got beef with this dude. I need to collect money. Go clinch, death. Done. That's the guy you want to bring it to. Plus, as Eddie Bravo says, the future of rubber guard. So why not sponsor this kid so he can go to other tournaments and give you the best highlights possible?
yes,
Pretty good?
yes, I'm down with that.
Sweet. All right, now let's plug my stuff. All right, thank you very much, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug my stuff and then we will call it a day. Thanks to you guys so much for watching. Right now, I'm going to remind you guys, like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't know what you want to comment on, the easiest thing we're going to ask you to do is, what is the video game nerdiness that you have that you freely promote? Maybe you are a League of Legends guy. Maybe you are a Minecraft guy. If you are, you probably went to go see that movie because that made a lot of money. I still don't understand it, but you know what? God bless those kids because the movies needed it. If you like those, tell us what your video game of choice is and why you are such a nerd in that lore. Number 2, after you've liked, comment, and subscribed to us on YouTube or wherever you're watching, you can also go to Grappling Hour on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/Grappling Hour, see these interviews 30 days before anybody else, and for just a few extra bucks more, support your boy, creating all this extra content for your viewing pleasure. Additionally, you can go to rafesparza.com/merch, get you some merch that says Grappling Hour, a hoodie, a t-shirt. I love seeing our friends who wear them. We got a lot of cool people who wear it, and I appreciate them for doing so and supporting the brand. And finally, if you want to continue the discussions that we have here on the show, check us out on Discord. Ladies and gents, that's going to do it for us here, reporting live from 10th Planet Orange. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.